Okay, we're going live.
Yeah.
Good morning again. Facebook loves to challenge us, but we are here today. So happy that all of you can make it. We're here to help inspire you. And with this, we have the most beautiful guest. We have LYDIA Ramirez, YAYA, here with us today. A little bit about her, other than she is a newly graduate of mine who I am so burstingly proud of. Thank you. I'll bow for that one. This gorgeous woman has worked with foster children, is a foster mother, has worked with foster children so much. And so there is a lot that she has to share about this, which I want her to tell her own story to you. She also empowers women and owns a retreat in Mexico and sets them up on a yearly basis so that they can reconnect to their childlike essence and have their own voice and stay empowered. At the same time, there is something very special she'd like to share in the very beginning of a miracle. And so, without any further ado, myself, Karina Carjon Bowman, Sandy Scar, LYDIA YAYA Ramirez, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Karina and Sandy. It's nice to be with you today, everybody, and out there in by Facebook land. But I had the inspiration thing on you, and so you asked me what are the two questions, right? You wanted to.
Well, I thought you first wanted to ask to actually tell everybody about the little miracle first, but okay, so I will pose the question. What is inspiration to you?
I'm so excited about this because I really wanted to. I looked in the, don't get me wrong, I looked it in the dictionary and it said origin, Middle English in the sense of divine guidance. And I thought that was so perfect for you because you inspire, Sandy, you inspire people with CSI. And it's totally about divine guidance. And that's in the dictionary. And I needed to tell you that. But my inspiration is my foster children. And I really believe that my inspiration came out of they inspired me. So I really feel that their adversity and their tragedy, the inspiration came out of that. And therefore they inspired everybody they met. And so they inspired us as a family, all the teams they belong to, and just the things that they did. They've been through so much. And it's just, I really believe that's in my opinion that inspiration comes out of, for them, adversity and tragedy. And so, I wanted to read something really quick also if I can.
Absolutely.
Okay, so and inspiración in Spanish means to breathe. And that takes me back to Breath 101 with you, my mentor, Karina Bowman. It says active breathing, inspiración, inhalation. And that's what you taught us in Breath 101. And so I just thought that was so cool because it all ties in together. And then there's that. And there's another one I wanted to see if I can tell you, because my little guys, it's 1 Corinthians 12:8 and the NIV Bible. And it says, to one, there is given through the Spirit a message of wisdom, to another, a message of knowledge by means of the same Spirit, to another, faith by the same Spirit, to another, gifts of healing by that same Spirit, to another, miraculous powers, to another, prophecy, to another, distinguishing between spirits and anchor and speaking in different kinds of tongues, still another, interpretation. All these are the works of one and the same Spirit, and the distribution of each one is just as the Spirit determines. So, and that goes back to my little guys, and everyone I feel has a gift of the divine. We have the divine in us. And my little ones, all little 5 boys that we received on that day when they were 6 and 12 years old, Oh my God, they gave us so much more than we could ever give them. I have to apologize because this is a soft spot in my heart for my little guys. Now they're 20, now they're 32, all the way to 39. And they've made a great life for themselves. But let me tell you a little bit about my story through Karina. Karina has changed my life. I was asked to write this by Karina Bowman. I would like to extend a special thanks and gratitude for you for asking me to include my words of wisdom and your book. Let's be clear, right, Karina? That's where you put us in the angel part, but this was a little bit further. You got a little excerpt of it, but I just wanted to add this in right now. I need to paint a picture first. It starts with me in the hospital, in the emergency room, so sick. I mean, the doctor comes in and tells me he doesn't think I'm going to make it. And yes, it was COVID. My daughter had been trying to get me to go to the hospital for the longest time. I had been sick for a long, long time. I do not take medication. I'm a healer and a spiritualist. I know when oh, I'm sorry, this phone is, I'm sorry, Corinne. I turned it off. So I don't take medication. I've been sick for such a long time, and I'm a healer and a spiritualist. So when I could not stand and my breathing was so shallow, my spirit guide, my mom, came to me and yelled at me to go to the hospital. So finally I said yes, and my daughter called the ambulance. So there's a little bit of words of wisdom. Karina brought this out of me. I want to let you know in her program. So I call it the wow factor. So the first wow, words of wisdom. Don't be so stubborn. Guess what? At that time, I said, hell yes, I'm going to make it. I haven't completed my mission, and I know our Creator has a journey and a path to live my purposeful, passionate life and to serve women and foster children. In my room, I was so sick. I stayed in the hospital. It felt like an eternity. And all I could tell the doctor every morning was, I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to go home. Second, wow, words of wisdom. Always keep it positive and believe and have faith in your healing. So I would tell the doctor every morning. He would ask me, how was I doing? I would say, I'm ready to go home. Even though I was definitely ill and was so ready to go home, none of my family could come into the room. Even being so sick, I always had the ability to, number 3, wow factor, words of wisdom, visualize myself healing, running at the ocean with my favorite people. In my case, I visualized myself with my grandchildren and my foster children. I saw them that automatically my emotions elevated and I raised my vibration. I felt the joy of being with them. And then I would pray, Lord, you know what I'm asking for. Amen. I'm such a spiritual person. I also called in my angels. I called in Archangel Raphael, Archangel Michael, Michael for protection, Archangel Raphael for healing. I called in all my spirit guides. My mother, she's always been with me. She's never left me alone. She showed up when I needed her. I can smell her. She smells like gardenias. I can sense her. She gives me signs, and I've been with her. So grateful. I'm so grateful and thankful for the divinity in me and around me. Leads me to number 4, the wow factor, words of wisdom. You must call in your angels. They cannot intervene on their own. To receive messages from above, my angels, my maker, my creator, God. I've been an angel mentor for 4 years, a certified angel mentor. So I did what I did in the hospital, was filled with the divine. I could barely breathe and barely stand up. I got worse before I got better. I lost all my bodily functions. I was on oxygen, but I refused to be intubated. And what I did was in constant meditation, prayer with the divinity. I would say to myself, I'm healthy, I'm healthy, I'm healthy. Number 5, wow factor, words of wisdom. Your words create your reality. My maker gave me what I have been asking for, my miracle, number 6, wow factor, words of wisdom. You have to ask what you desire to God or universe, whatever you want to call it. I felt that in the hospital room. I passed through the veil. I passed that veil and I saw the light, and he sent me back. He sent me back. I wonder, why did he send me back? I've given a second chance at life, at my life. That second chance, I lived a renewed life, a life full of service, love for humanity and the world. I am so driven now. I feel like I'm being led by the divine to live my purpose on this earth, to help so many women and foster children. I came back pain-free, and so driven, so driven. I can't even describe it. It's not even me. I wake up every morning and meditate and pray and ask, what can I do to help women and children, foster children? Who do you want me to meet today? Who do you want me to serve? We have a connection. I have a divine connection. He tells me things every day. It's just about 7, the wow factor. It's not about me and my business. It's having the drive to help women and foster children to live a better life, a life of love for God, creator, spirit, universe, source energy, themselves, and the world, a life of ease and grace. Kids are our future, and foster kids really need us. And that is my mission, to help women and foster children. The bottom line is I was given a second chance, and my 8th wow factor, words of wisdom to you who read this, is don't ever think that you're not good enough, because you are good enough. You're so worthy. You matter to me. You matter to creator. You matter to the world. I pray you understand and adopt this. You matter to yourself. When you understand this, then you are ready to start your mission in life. This is what life is all about to me. If you can save at least one person in your lifetime, then your whole life has been worth it. If you can help one person in your lifetime, everything has been so worth it. If you can save one child in your lifetime, it has been all so worth it for me. And the ripple effect, right? It just keeps on going and going and going, and what they can help other foster children help to do, and paint it all forward, blessings forward. So I guess those are all of wisdom. When I received my miracle, I came back a changed person to me. And what I used to think was no longer important. 9th wow factor, words of wisdom. Life and what you do to help people is so key to your fulfillment and purpose in life. My outlook on life has changed. I have no pain. All I feel at all, I don't have any pain. I feel like I'm 30 and I'm 65. I'm so very grateful. 10th wow factor, to be grateful for your life. You have been given you've been given life, right? For what he's given you, for what you're here to do, for what you are vitally important to become in this world. And together, women, we are changing our world, one person, one foster child, one woman, one man at a time, united in love and peace.
Now, Lydia, if you were to just sum that all up for the audience, first off, okay, what the audience may not actually recognize is that you got inspired to start writing.
Yes.
And this is something, okay, I know you're a little nervous, and it's okay. Breathe a little bit here.
Yes.
But this is her writings now that she has been inspired, and her being so on fire. This is what inspiration does. It's star fuel. There is no lack of energy that comes with this. Every day you start waking up and you're ready to go. So understanding that this is something that she is writing, and we're encouraging her to get this to the point where it's going to be published. How would you like to just sum this deeper understanding in a short amount of words for the audience as to what you're trying to impart with them?
Okay, so I think what you're asking is like my mission. It's to empower women and foster kids to...
No, you misunderstand me.
Okay.
What advice, what words of encouragement would you love to offer the people that are listening?
I encourage you to never give up, to persevere, and to know that you are a divine being. You have the divinity in you, and to have faith in yourself first. About self-love. And if you have self-love, you can do anything. You can love others, but self-love is so important.
Yes, it is. It is. And it's clear what your mission is, that going forward, that you have created and working on a nonprofit organization for the foster children. And Sandy knows a great deal about foster children because she has been a foster mom decades. I'll just put it that way. And but also ended up adopting foster children that have, as she liked to coin the phrase, diverse abilities that require different types of loving and care and understanding in order to be able to exude in this world for
Right.
their life. And so the whole spectrum of foster children is a lot bigger than what a lot of people really understand. They think, oh, it's just, you know, a child that doesn't have parents and they need to be adopted. It is so bigger and greater than that because it is shaping every single precious life.
Yes.
And when they literally get taken in as the foster child, they now have been chosen. which is very different than this feeling and sensation about being abandoned. And so that sets their life on a completely different path.
Yes, it does.
It really does. So for you working at trying to bring all of this forward as a monumental, amazing, divine, inspirational purpose.
It is. It is. It is. I remember, if I can get in there. I remember my grandfather, when we received our little 5 little boys, my grandfather says, "You're going to go straight to heaven." And that always stayed with me. He's gone now, but he was a great inspiration, my grandfather. And it was just so beautiful. You both are gonna go straight to heaven. My husband and I. My husband's in heaven now too, but it was just such a beautiful time when we received our foster children. If I can go ahead a little bit more on that. When we received our foster children, my daughter was already in college and my son was a junior in high school. And it was just so perfect because these little boys, they just, they just wanted love and nurturing. They just wanted a hug and guidance. And my husband was so amazing. He's a Vietnam veteran, and he was so like they teach him to be a soldier. So he was like, okay, you wake up, you do this, you do this, you do this. And so it's so perfect. It was kind of regimented for the boys, but it was so perfect for them because they needed guidance and they needed structure. Right. And I would be the loving person. I'd get the hugs and I would go to school and I would enroll them and talk to the foster person, our social worker. And so it was really special, but they went under my husband's wings and he taught each one of them a talent or something to do. And they brought those talents with them as they grew up, and now they're men and they're using those talents now. And so they really pay homage to my husband who's in heaven. They thank all the time. Because my husband, we gave ourselves to them 100%. You can't have a foster child and be there 50%. You have to be there 100%. And it was just so beautiful that he took him under their wings, his wings, and I give them the love and everything. And it was just so beautiful because now to see the boys, they all have a gift. Like I said, I was talking about the spiritually given gift. My first son, I remember, my husband and I, our eyes teared up because my oldest of the foster child, at 12 years old, he comes to me, he goes, "So what do I call you?" And my husband goes, "You can call us Lydia or Jose, or you can call us parent. You can call us whatever you like." And he goes, "Or you can call us mom and dad," my husband said. And he goes, I think I'll call you mom and papi. And in Spanish, papi means dad, right? And so, for us, I mean, that's like a start of the trust for those children to call you that, because I never expected that to ever happen. I did tell the boys as the time went on that I know they loved their mother. I always kept the mother in the picture, because that was a part of the court order and stuff. But I always told them, you won't understand how hard a job it is to be a parent until you're a parent yourself. And I said, your mother tried her hardest to keep you. We don't know what she had to go through and what happened to her. But when you guys grow up, you can talk to her and ask her. But always love your mother, no matter what. You love, and that's what when we got them, they were so devastated. They were brokenhearted. They were so scared. They didn't know what to do. They're like little puppy dogs in a corner. And we had to build the confidence, and we had to build that rapport with nurturing and loving and just listening to them, and sometimes they would, be like little boys. 5 little boys would be rambunctious. Sometimes they'd be like, scared or crying, or sometimes they'd be acting out. But we realized that it wasn't personal. These little boys had so much trauma in them that they had to act out. They had to get it out of their system. And how we all know that if they kept that trauma in them, it would have been an emotional trauma, and it would have been hurting to the body as a disease in the later stages of of now they're 40, 39. And it was so good because we talked all the time. How do you feel? And I kept the mom in there, and we kept love, and we talked to her, and it was a family connection. And it's like, it's as a being a foster parent, I don't know if it was right or wrong, but we kept that connection because I felt it was important. I felt like if I was a foster child and if I was taken away from my parents, I would have wanted to know about them. I wanted to know how they're doing. I don't want, somebody to take me over and not know about my mother for 20 years. That's not right. They need to know about their mom and their dad and how they're doing. And another thing I wanted to say is when I took them to school, I have 2 biological kids, and they just took to to the boys, the brothers immediately, and it was really, really nice. But when I took the boys to school, my foster boys, the school itself, they kind of looked sideways at them, and I felt my gut feeling, and I felt for them, but they didn't even see it because they were little boys, because the thing is, they were taken away from their mom because the mom didn't take them to school. She didn't, there wasn't consistency in going to school and doing all the stuff that they were supposed to do.
Well, sure.
Yeah, and they were taken away from her. And so the little boy, another thing I remembered was her 12-year-old, and he was basically the father. They lose their childhood. That's why I started the nonprofit. These foster children lose their childhood. They become the parent. So my 12-year-old, this oldest one, was a father to these little boys. And then he came to my husband because my husband cooked for us. He goes, can I help you cook? And my husband says, no, you let me be the dad, and I'll cook for you. You be the little boy and go play. And and he was just like, he forgot what it was to play, with his brothers outside. And we lived on a ranch by a river, and oh my God, they had the best time as children because they would go swimming and playing. And it was just a consistency. It's not like we were the best parents, we were not, but it's the consistency of school and nurturing and love, and just praying. And the thing is, we built the self-esteem, because what's really amazing was these kids were so ready to learn, right? They were just like little sieves. They just wanted to learn everything. So we put them in. Oh, one of my sons came home crying, and he was crying and crying and crying. And I said, what's wrong? What's wrong? He goes, they were making fun of him at school, right? Because he couldn't speak right. He couldn't do his homework. And he just was.
Was this one of the foster sons or your
Yes.
biological sons?
No, my foster sons.
Okay.
And so we realized right there and then that we had to build their self-esteem. We had to build their confidence. And that was like a whole thing my husband and I talked about. And so what we did is we put them in, in Kumon. It's like tutoring for kids. And then we also put them in, we couldn't put them in church because it was against the foster care rules, but we prayed at home and stuff. But what we did is we put them in school for sports, and they were amazing. Football, soccer, track. They did so well, and the kids loved them because they were so good at it. And what was really cool, one real little story was my
Well,
son.
excuse me, Lydia.
Huh?
So what we want to do now,
Mhm.
okay, is that there are many beautiful situations that have happened, but the main theme that I'm hearing from all of it
Mhm.
is the selfless love, developing their self-esteem,
Mhm.
listening to them, giving them guidance, discovering, helping them to still maintain their childhood again, and discovering who they are as beings is really you said you probably weren't the best parents, but oh my gosh, yes, listen to that definition. Of course. And I thank you for sharing such beautiful stories of these precious beings, because they are precious. And the beautiful thing on top of it, now that they have become adults, they know what it's like to be that young child, that young foster child. And so you've actually created a legacy by putting so much love into these children that they will continue on to helping other foster children. I
That's
mean,
what they're doing.
that is a legacy unto itself, sweetheart. And that is just amazing.
Yes.
Now, we are starting to run out of time
Oh.
because we like to keep people to understand we're here to uplift them and
Mhm.
let them know that there's so many different aspects in life of how you can become inspired and what all of a sudden you can be attracted to. So Lydia herself does have several different links that we're going to be putting in the comments right after this, and then the replay will also be available. But she has a website set up that explains more about the foster children that she is taking on. And yes, nonprofits are lengthy. You have to be very patient on top of this to really get it established properly. And we also have information about her empowering women's retreat in Mexico, plus a few other things of point of contact and stuff. So that I really do want to share and let the audience know that they can reach you and they will be able to find out more about these beautiful foster children and what you're up to. And I couldn't be prouder of how you're just exploding here. And please, everybody encourage her to really get her book out there and get it published.
Mhm.
Of course, I'll do my part with her
Yes.
being a published author. And it is one beautiful way to be able to reach so many people that we never get a chance to meet. And with divine spirit, they get guided into the right hands to help the people who need the help when they need it. And that's why we're here. That's why we're all here. And with that, I do have one quick little announcement, helping people when it comes to that. People who want to know more about their own control, changing their life, really, they're ready for it. I do have a beautiful workshop that's going to happen this Tuesday evening on what's our date? 22nd. 22nd at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yes, that is gifted because I want people to come and learn some level of empowerment that they may not have, that is a lifetime tools. So please join us. We'll have links galore is what we're going to do. Oh,
Yes, come
So
and join us on the 22nd, right, Karina?
on the
Karina's
22nd,
changed my life, so I encourage you to come on and look, take a peek, because wow, just so focused. My health is there, my nonprofit's on target. There's so many positives knowing Karina, and she's just there to help so many women, and it's just happening for me right now, because I have to say I give her so much thanks, her and Sandy, for being the mentors in my life, and for her program, because it really made me focus down onto what I need to do during the year, by the first month, the third month, the sixth month, the 12th month. And it really helps so much, but there's so much more with the Breath 101. She's just a life changer. Sandy is too. And I really recommend them. Come and see us on the 22nd.
well, thank you, sweetheart. And yes, my two proud graduates. So proud of them. They are flourishing, and that is the goal, to light everybody up, to get inspired that you can inspire somebody else. And that's how we honestly start changing the world. It really is. It may sound simple, and actually acts of kindness and gratitude are simple.
Yes, so much so.
And
I
so
agree.
with that, Sandy, did you want to close anything out?
I'm just so amazed and inspired by Lydia as a foster parent and an adoptive parent. I just really applaud her and support her 110%.
Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Sandy. And I just encourage people, I know that we've helped so many kids all over the world, but let's concentrate on the kids in America, because we really need to help these kids and foster kids. They're our future. They are our future. So let's invest in their trajectory. Let's invest in our kids. Thank you.
Perfect closing words. Thank you, precious angels. And many, many blessings to our beautiful audience. Please share the replay link, and we'll see you on Tuesday night.
Yes, we will.
Until then, God bless and much love.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much.